In literature, a conservative is often referred to as a reactionary. Who wants to be conservative when liberal-minded sounds so much better? And all of my liberal friends would agree. But in life, we see there's plenty to react against, whether you're conservative or liberal. In history, we see plenty of reactionary causes: the Reformation, the French Revolution, and the Civil Rights Movement. Even many proactive causes like protecting the environment, securing our freedom, and protecting the underclass seem to end up being against something. For as fashionable as it is to be progressive, there seems to be a lot to be angry about. Everyone is so afraid that someone's going to upset this apple cart because this apple cart is serving someone, but it's probably not you or me. It's the people pushing the damn cart. Welcome. Welcome to Conservative Coffee Hour. I'm Stanley Smith. It's safe to say that few people want to identify as conservative, especially if you live in an urban setting, which is about where 80% of the population of this country live. Here in Chicago, my liberal friends have dissected this town as actually a conservative town with the window dressing of liberalism. It's not very flattering, but it speaks to a larger phenomenon that in the life of the world, we often say one thing and do another. Traditionally, in this country and elsewhere in the world, most people live rather modest, conservative lives, raising families, earning money to provide for themselves, and making their way in the world. Throughout our history, there's always been an underclass, and how that underclass is managed can be problematic, but it's not definitive. In our time, the only reason subgroups are lifted up as definitive is because they have no chance of ever becoming mainstream because they're an outlier. That's the whole point. Treading on people for gain and then stomping down every voice that might provide a counter narrative. We all love to rally around a cause and see injustice toppled. Then we lean into the new status quo and give that our support until it becomes corrupted and abusive. And then we need to rise up, oppose, and topple that. It seems to be an endless cycle. At Conservative Hour, we've been on this for almost 3 years now. It's a real thing. We're in a narrative, inside a timeline, inside an operation. It's all about pushing the apple cart down the road. We have a lot invested here for good and for bad. But at some point, this cart is going to crash and burn. Last week, we had guest Alex Stovall on the call, and Alex reminded us that many of us are thinking way too short term. The whole concept of nurturing the next generation of leaders now and looking ahead 10, 15, 20 years has all gotten lost in the shuffle as we've moved from one crisis to the next. If we look at history, we see that this is not a new phenomenon. But what has changed is our ability to have capacity of mind, temperament, and demeanor to navigate it well. Last week, I invited MG Merritt from New Illinois to join our Illinois General Assembly call. MG had a couple issues with the very premise of the assembly, but she stuck with the call, and then she shared those issues and questions in a way that was respectful, lucid, and helpful. The fact that she stuck around and actually listened was very impressive. Some people believe that we can afford to get rid of that group and get rid of those people and do the work of reclaiming and restoring our country ourselves. But that's a folly. We must do this together, uniting New Illinois, the General Assembly, the Tea Party, the right-wing whack jobs, the Republicans, Democrats, progressives, and even the leftists. Whatever it is, people are calling themselves. They're people. If And if you're not listening, then you're part of the problem. Nobody wants to be a reactionary. And if you're a progressive, perhaps that's just another name for reacting against things. When we all start to leave our reactionary selves behind, we can see that we stop being part of the problem and are part of the solution together. It's the best way to nurture the next generation of leaders, and that's the most progressive thing we can do. If you would like to join us at Conservative Coffee Hour is every Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Time on Zoom. I will include my email in the description of this video. I'll be happy to send you an invitation. And I look forward to seeing you very, very soon.